Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I have another VHS video for you guys. I have been going ham with the VHS hauls, and there's actually some pretty cool things and some things that I've never seen that I've wanted to watch, so I am happy to have picked them up. That's my whole theory. Some people might be like, why are you buying VHSs? It's 2017, nobody has a VHS player either. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I actually have a VHS player, by the way. But I was like, yeah, that's true, but that also makes them really cheap. So that's a really good way to find movies that you've never seen or movies that you want to see and give them a shot. And for 20 cents, you really can't go wrong. And it's like, you can get it on DVD or Blu-ray and then end up not liking it, or you can get it on VHS, watch it, and then end up really loving it, and then being able to go and find it on VHS, or not VHS, find it on DVD or Blu-ray and be able to watch it then in higher quality, and it'll be like revisiting the entire movie all over again. But that's just my little philosophy on this. So, to get into it, I just actually picked these next five up yesterday at Goodwill. And this one looked interesting, and I've seen it a couple times, like seen the cover a couple times before, but have never had a chance to watch it. This is called Glass House. And the only name that looks really familiar on the cover is Stellan Skarsgård and Diane Lane. So that is interesting. Then we also have Final Destination 2. Now, I don't really remember what happens in Final Destination 2. The only ones I can really remember are the first one, the third one, the fourth one, which was supposed to be the last one, and I think the fifth one. So I don't even know what happens in 2, so I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching it. So then next up, can't have a VHS haul without Stephen King. So this is Stephen King's The Dead Zone. Now, I have heard for a couple different times that this is probably one of Stephen King's the best adaptations of the Stephen King work, so I look forward to watching that one, and that Christopher Walken is in that one, and that he gives a pretty good performance. So then, next up we have The Forgotten. So I actually have not watched this one. I have. I just haven't watched it in a while, so I don't really remember anything too much about it. But this girl has like this thing where people forget her or something like that. It's got Julianne Moore in it. And then this one I was also pretty excited to get, and I'm slowly getting the entire series, but this is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. I almost said Part 8, but I actually don't think I've seen a couple of the Friday the 13th, but I don't remember exactly which ones. I need to revisit those all at some point. Alright, so next up we have the Count of Monte Cristo. So I think I actually watched this movie in one of my my world history class in high school or something like that. I vaguely remember something along these lines, so I look forward to revisiting this, and hopefully it is good. So the next one I got, and this is one that I only caught a couple minutes of it when I was volunteering at the local kindergarten center when I was in high school, and they put this on, and it was kind of good, so I figured I would pick it up because I found it. It's called In Search of Dr. Seuss, and this has Kathy Najimy in it, and it actually has Robin Williams in it as well. I didn't realize that, but actually there's a lot of people in this that are famous. It's got Christopher Lloyd, Andrea Martin, Patrick Stewart, Billy Crystal, and Howie Mandel. It's from 1994. So actually that is kind of crazy. I didn't realize that there were so many famous people in there, but I look forward to actually watching the full thing, and hopefully it's pretty good. It's a full-length movie, 96 episodes, so, or 96 episodes, 96 minutes. So, I've said this several times, but it is not a VHS haul for me without a Stephen King movie. So, I have another Stephen King movie, and this is Stand By Me. So, this is very, very simple cover art for this movie, but this is such a good movie. This was probably one of the first Stephen King movies I had ever watched, and I love this movie. I ended up being able to get it on Blu-ray a couple years ago, and I'm just very happy about it, and I don't know, I just love it. It is, if you haven't seen any Stephen King and you don't really like scary type movies that most of his movies are kind of based off of, that is a very good, it's like a coming of age movie where there's like 4 main boys and they hear this rumor that there is a dead body that was beheaded by this train. So they go on this adventure to go and try to find this severed head, essentially, and it's basically just their like hijinks type things. But it is a really good movie. I would definitely recommend watching it if you have never seen it. So then next up, this is, I've actually never watched the full one of these, but I've seen the most famous clips, so like the Black Knight and all that. So this is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So yeah, probably the most famous thing from this is the Black Knight scene, and I don't know how many times I've seen that, but it's been quite a bit. There's kind of a little spoof of that in the very first Scary Movie as well, if you're familiar with that. So then, next up, I have, a while ago, I had talked about wanting to get things that were like Disney Channel original movies from when I was younger and watched them all and stuff. And I found a Disney Channel original movie, and this is Cadet Kelly. It's not necessarily, this one is available on DVD, so it's not like the greatest find, but it's still a decent one. I really wish that I could find, like, I think there's Can of Worms that's on VHS, I know. The one that I would really want to find, and I wish that they would release these on DVD, but the one that I always watched was Luck of the Irish. I just loved that movie, and I am really disappointed that they haven't released that on DVD, and hopefully sometime in the near future they will decide to start releasing some of these older Disney Channel original movies on DVD so that the fans can get them and be able to watch them whenever they want. Then next up, this one is actually really cool, and I am stoked that I found it. I wish that I could have the other 3, and I wish there was also a DVD release. This is one of the only ones that I have that I officially know has not been released on DVD or any other format other than VHS, but this is called Bone Chillers, and this is essentially a kind of like a Goosebumps, and it's based off of the books by Betsy Haynes, and this tape is Art Imitates Life. And so this was apparently a TV show, a Canadian TV show, so much like Goosebumps, and I think it was around the same time that Goosebumps was around. Essentially, it's kind of a ripoff of Goosebumps, but it says, "Welcome to a really ghoul school, Edgar Allan Poe High, where there's no such thing as an average student, and where science projects always go horribly wrong. Bone Chillers is hilarious fun with a cast of cool teens, scary sets, and awesome special effects. So get ready to laugh till you scream." And essentially, This one has 2 episodes on it, and the art imitates life, and it says, after Fitz buys a sketch pad from a weird street peddler, his drawings seem to take on a life of their own, especially a hideous monster on rollerblades. And then the other one on here is Mummy Dearest. The school's production of Antony and Cleopatra is cursed with disappearing actors and props that come to life, including a real-life mummy looking for a bride. And I did watch this, and the interesting thing, actually, is if you see right here, this is the little like sticker to make sure that you don't steal it or whatever, and this is actually a Buena Vista home video release. And if you're not familiar, Buena Vista is actually a like subsidiary thing of Disney, and I thought that was pretty interesting, and I really wish that this would be like released on DVD, but I guess I will just have to keep hoping, and hopefully I can find, there's 3 other ones that are available, so hopefully I'll be able to find that. So actually Linda Cardinelli, I think that's how you say her name, who plays in this, and I saw her, when I first saw her, I was like, that girl looks really familiar. So if you're not familiar with who she is, I'm sure you are familiar with some of her works. But she played a doctor, or she played on ER. I don't know if she was a doctor or anything. And then she was also Velma in the live-action Scooby-Doo with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. But I was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting. And then next up, this is something that I picked up. I am not 100% sure what this has to do with, but if you don't know, I think I've mentioned it a couple times in my videos, but I am a big fan of the Olympics. And when I found this, I knew that I had to grab it because a lot of the Olympic thing, there's a lot of like Olympic VHSs, but there's not a whole lot of Olympic DVDs and stuff. So this is Texaco presents the Olympic Challenge, the energy to go further. So this was written, produced, and directed by Bud Greenspan, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm thinking correctly, that he does a lot of these kind of like documentary Olympic type things, and it's 45 minutes, so I'm not quite sure what's on it. I have yet to watch it, but again, it came out in 1992, so it was probably around the 92 Olympics that it was like, that's what is featured on there, either 92 or 90. Alright, so then next up, this one, for whatever reason, I had heard quite a bit about this recently, and I figured I would pick it up, but this is Event Horizon. And I've never watched this, but I never realized how many interesting or famous people are in this. It's got Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill in it, and also Jolie Richardson. And I was watching Nip Tuck, or I've been watching Nip Tuck on and off again, and she's one of the main characters in that. Alright, so then I am down to the last 2 for this VHS haul. So this first one is the Powerpuff Girls, and this is Boogie Frights. And I haven't seen the Powerpuff Girls in forever. I knew they did sort of like a reboot type thing with what is it? They did some weird redesign of their the Powerpuff Girls, and they were all geometrically shaped, and that was weird. There's actually quite a few episodes on here, and it says episodes include Boogie Frights, Slumbering with the Enemy, Eyesore, Rowdy Rough Boys, Helter Skelter. So that's 5 episodes, and then there's a sneak peek of Samurai Jack, and then also a Courage the Cowardly Dog bonus tune. And I definitely love Courage the Cowardly Dog, so I'm excited for that. And then last but not least, this is one that I have volume 1 for, and this is volume 4, so I'm missing a couple of volumes, but this is a show that I didn't realize was a thing, but this is So Little Time volume 4, Hanging Out. So this has 5 episodes on it, and this is a show that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were in in the early 2000s, so this was from 2003. So I look forward to checking that out. Hopefully I'll be able to find the other 2 volumes of it, so we'll see. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about what I got. If there's any that you've seen, if there's any that you haven't seen, and your opinions on them. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.